means football season. It also means it's time to get your furnace checked. Call the professionals at Wilkinson Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing in Logansport. If you're ready to buy a new HVAC system, now's the time. You can save hundreds of dollars on their end of summer sale. Call Wilkinson's right now, 753-2208.
Logansport Savings Bank, we're leading the way.
Hi, this is Joshua at Logansport Savings Bank, and we're leading the way in growing our community. With the right team, you can accomplish your desired goals. Bank with us and join our team in impacting our community. Contact us at 722-3855 or at logansportsavings.com. Good luck to all of our local athletes.
Stop into Direct Maytag in Logansport, where we're making room for Maytag brand with power-packed laundry pairs. Maytag is part of the Whirlpool Corporation, the largest appliance manufacturer in the world. Direct Maytag for sales and service on East Market Street in Logansport. The Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show continues. Back to Joe Stetz and Milt Hess on WSAL.
Welcome back to Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. The Harrison Raiders have won the toss. They have deferred, so they will go on the field defensively first, and they have chosen the wind, and the wind is significant. Our chief meteorologist, Hunter Simpson, has given us another fabulous night of weather here, week 3 of the season. No rain in the forecast, some overcast skies, comfortable temperatures, but the wind will be a factor, and unfortunately for the Berries, they'll have to start going into the wind offensively to start things off. That will do it for the Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show. We will step aside for one last time. When we return, we'll have our opening kickoff and the start of this North Central Conference game between the Berries and the Harrison Raiders. There's more to come, live from Logansport.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show on WSAL. Mike Anderson Chevrolet Buick GMC would like to show you the award-winning quality of their new car inventory. Chevy cars and trucks are racking up the awards, while GMC is professional grade. Look at Buick luxury cars, SUVs, and crossovers. Mike Anderson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Logansport. The play-by-play with Joe Stetz and Milt Hess is coming up. Plus, be sure and listen to the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show. All part of WSAL coverage of Berries football on WSAL.
At Security Federal, the customer experience is our top priority. Like summer nights and fireflies, we go better together. Contact Security Federal for all your banking needs. Member FDIC.
Tyson Fresh Meats in Logansport is always looking to add to their family, and job opportunities are always possible. Tyson offers good benefits, above-average wages, and premium wages for skilled trades. More information can be found online at TysonFoodsCareers.com. Tyson Fresh Meats in Logansport wishes the best of luck to all of our local athletes.
The end of summer means football season. It also means it's time to get your furnace checked. Call the professionals at Wilkinson Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing in Logansport. If you're ready to buy a new HVAC system, now's the time. You can save hundreds of dollars on their end of summer sale. Call Wilkinson's right now, 753-2208.
Logansport Savings Bank, we're leading the way.
Hi, this is Joshua at Logansport Savings Bank, and we're leading the way in growing our community. With the right team, you can accomplish your desired goals. Bank with us and join our team in impacting our community. Contact us at 722-3855 or at logansportsavings.com. Good luck to all of our local athletes.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance knows you're good at fitting one more dish in an already full dishwasher. We're good at your insurance.
Dad?
You're good at pretending to be asleep.
Dad?
We're good at your insurance.
Dad?
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
You handle life, I handle insurance. Let me help you with your business, home, auto, life, and farm insurance needs. Call me, Karina Lembeck, today at 574-753-3143. I want to be your Indiana Farm Bureau agent.
It's now time for Berries football on WSAL. Brought to you by the Mike Anderson Auto Group, Logansport Memorial Hospital, Logansport Savings Bank, Tyson Fresh Meats, Direct Maytag, Wilkinson Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Security Federal Savings Bank. Let's welcome back Joe Stetz and Milt Hess for the play-by-play of Logansport Berries football on WSAL Logansport.
All right, welcome to LMH Stadium. They started the game a couple minutes early, so the Berries have already got a first down. They have it first down and 10 at their own 33-yard line on their second series down. Garrett Barron will keep it on a quarterback keeper across the 35. out to near the 38-yard line. We'll see where they spot him officially, but a good start to the game offensively for the Berries after a disastrous first play. They've moved the ball well since then.
Yeah, a mishandle on the opening snap of the game, and that Josh Manford fell on. The Berries lost 4 yards on that play, but at least they kept the football.
Yep. And they converted our first down after that 2nd down and 14 start. A completion to Drake McLaughlin gave the Berries their initial first down of the game. They have it now 2nd down and 7. They have it at their own 36-yard line. Just underway, 9:55 to go. First quarter, Logansport and Harrison in the North Central Conference opener for both teams. Manford gets the hand up the middle, kicks it to the outside, breaks the tackle. He has the first down and more. He is knocked out of bounds close to midfield. But good improvisation that time from Manford as the play was designed to go up the middle. There was no hole there. He saw something to the outside and took full advantage. Picked up 12 yards on that gain out to the 48-yard line. And the Berries with their second first down of the young contest.
First carry of the night for Josh Manford. Made it a good one.
So they have it first down and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Clock stopped, 9:49 as Manford stepped out of bounds. The Berries chance to get into Harrison territory for the first time. Now a bubble screen to Drake McLaughlin. He has a completion. He is near midfield. Good gang tackling that time from Lafayette Harrison. In on the stop, Dawson Circle. And Tyler Bell after a short gain, but still positive yardage for the Berries on first down. A pickup of 2 to the midfield stripe. They have it 2nd down and 8.
2 for 2 for Garrett Barron in passing, and that's quite a feat considering the wind that he's going against. Now those have been pretty short, direct passes. But Harrison, again, did take the wind. Wind will be a factor in this ballgame if it continues.
Yep, no question about it. Now the Berries with 2 receivers split out to the right. 1 split out to the left. Now McLaughlin in motion to the right. Hand off to Manford up the middle. He is hit right at the line of scrimmage. He may have fallen forward for a yard. Jacob Kane, the first Harrison Raider to make contact, following a minimal gain of a yard. But the Berries into Harrison territory for the first time tonight. They have it 3rd down and 7 at the Harrison 49-yard line. And as you talked about, the significant wind the Berries are going into the teeth of, you would think this might be 4-down territory, because I'm not sure how, as strong as a leg as Juan Perez has, I'm not sure what he can do kicking into the wind. So this might dictate what Coach Johnson draws up here on 3rd down and 7 at the Harrison 49-yard line. Barron in the shotgun, back to pass, has good protection. Pass is incomplete, in and out of the hands, I believe that was Drake McLaughlin. Yep. It looked like he was just a couple yards short of the first down. I think he was going to try to get that first down after he made the catch, but took his eye off the ball.
It would have been very manageable to go for that on 4th down at that point, considering you heard Coach Johnson, they're not real confident in their punting game right now.
But the punting game, they will bring up Gavin George, freshman. We saw him at split end position a week ago for the punt. Good snap. George, and it is partially blocked and is going to be fielded inside midfield. So Lafayette Harrison with a good surge up the middle, and the punting issues continue for the Berries. And Harrison will take over 1st down and 10 in Logansport territory. It'll be spotted at the 46-yard line. Snap was good that time, but
the snap was perfect, yeah. Just took a little too long, and again, Coach Johnson said he's concerned about the physicality of this Harrison team. They showed it blowing through that line.
Oh, yeah. So the Raiders have it 1st down and 10 with their first possession of the night. Tyler Canoy is the quarterback. Omarion Dixon, the featured running back for Lafayette Harrison, is in single setback behind Canoy. Canoy back to pass. Pass is complete into the flat, breaking a tackle inside the 40. Close to the first down. Max Bunger on the reception for Lafayette Harrison. Give him 9 on that first down play. Down to the 37-yard line of Logansport. 2nd down and a yard. 8 minutes to go, quarter number 1. Logansport and Harrison in a scoreless tie. The Berries did not score in their first offensive possession of the night. The Raiders, with their initial possession, have it 2nd down and 1 at the Logansport 37-yard line. 3 receivers now out to the right for Harrison. Dixon gets the handoff, cuts it to the outside. He's got some running room inside the 30, inside the 25, still on his feet. He steps out of bounds inside the 20-yard line, but good run that time from Dixon. Didn't see anything up the middle, broke it to the outside, and had lots of running room, good speed to get to the edge, and a big gain all the way down to the 17-yard line. Gain of 20 yards on that play, so Dixon's first carry of the night yields 20 yards on a first down for Lafayette Harrison, and they're already in the red zone. 7:39 to go here, first quarter, and a scoreless tie, but Lafayette Harrison knocking on the door. Kanoy under center. Now pitch left to Dixon. He's got a little bit of blocks. The Berries do a nice job stringing it out, but Dixon's still able to get positive yardage and near the 10-yard line. So Logansport was in position to make the tackle, but Dixon with some strong running. I'll get a stoppage of play.
Well, penalty came out at the end of the play, so either somebody said something or there was a face mask. But it looked like there were 3 Berries that sort of blocked each other when he took off around that left end.
So as it stands right now, the ball is at the Logansport 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3 pending the penalty. And it looks like they're looking in Logansport's direction. Going to get a dead ball foul, personal foul on the Berries. So that will be half the distance to the goal. And a 1st down and goal for Lafayette Harrison at the Logansport 5-yard line with the ball on the left hash. And those are the kind of penalties the Berries were hampered with in the opening night against Peru. They cleaned things up significantly last week against Frankfurt, but they get a major penalty right off the jump. And Lafayette Harrison has 1st and goal, and now it looks like a wishbone formation for the Raiders with Dixon in that fullback spot. He will get the handoff up the middle. Good push by that Lafayette Harrison front line, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown, 5-yard touchdown run for Omari and Dixon. And just like that, Lafayette Harrison is on the scoreboard with a 6-0 lead with the point after to come.
Dixon is their workhorse. You'll be calling his name quite a bit tonight, Joe, and he's big, and obviously he's fast too.
Yep. He had 115 yards in their win over Culver Academy a week ago. And now for the point after for Lafayette Harrison, Jarek Menon, who handles the kickoff and the place kicking duties for the Raiders. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up. And the kick is good. 7:17 to go. First quarter. It is Lafayette Harrison 7 and Logansport nothing. So the Berries with a positive start to the game offensively. They got a couple of 1st downs. And 1 incomplete pass derailed their drive, and then the block punt gave Harrison great starting field position. They took it 46 yards. And if my math is correct, in 4 plays to take an early 7-0 lead with 7:17 to go in our first quarter. Of course, conference play gets underway in the North Central Conference. Indianapolis Tech is at Richmond. Kokomo is at Marion. McCutcheon at Lafayette Jeff. And Muncie Central is at Anderson. That's the other North Central Conference matchups tonight. In the county, Lewis Cass is playing host to Benton Central. Hopefully we'll be able to pass along some score updates from there. Pioneer Panthers on the road. They are at LaVille, a 7:30 start time, so they are not yet underway. And the Caston Comets also on the road tonight as they play at Triton. Comets looking for their first win of the young season.
Well, this was just the kind of start that Coach Johnson was afraid of.
Yep. Here's a high end-over-end kick. Caught in the field of play, though, by the Berries. I believe that's Jarley O'Connor. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks another tackle, spins his way out of a 3rd, across the 20. Ball is loose.
Berries got it, I believe, but they call him down anyway.
They called him down and just short of the 20. And a flag came in late, and from the way that was thrown, it was almost always going to be an illegal block in the back, and then that was the initial indication from the official, and that indeed is the case. So an illegal block in the back for the Berries, and they will start very deep in their own territory. You get the feeling that the Berries can just survive this first quarter going into the wind and see what they can do with that wind at their back. But you can see it's certainly helping Harrison an awful lot in the kicking game with that deep kickoff. And now Logansport has it 1st down and 10, and they will start at their own 5-yard line.
Well, Harrison doesn't need the Berries' help.
No, that's for sure.
They can take care of themselves very well, thank you. They don't need the Berries giving them help. Berries only had 3 penalties last week total.
Wow.
They've now had 2.
2 in less than 5 minutes tonight. Garrett Barron will keep it himself on a quarterback keeper. Got a good push from the front of that Logansport offensive line. Got a couple of yards out to the 7. Make it 2nd down and 8.
Well, he's now a +1 after getting credit for that -4 on the very first play of the game where the fumble occurred. So he's at +1 yards for Garrett.
6 minutes and 45 seconds to play in our first quarter. It is Lafayette Harrison 7, Logansport nothing. Berries have it 2nd down and 8. Handoff to Drake McLaughlin around the right side, spins out of 1 tackle, falls forward near the 10-yard line. Good second effort that time. from Drake McLaughlin to get 3 yards on that second down carry. And that will make it 3rd down and 5 for the Berries. They need to get to the 15-yard line.
Drake McLaughlin has had a great start to this season. I mean, from a total yardage standpoint, Joe, both receiving and running the football. He's been the total package for the first 2 games.
And we got a report that he was at basketball practice last night, so he's going to try out for the Berries basketball team this upcoming season. 3rd down and 5 for the Berries. Barron rolls out to his right. He's got protection. The pass is overthrown. Malachi Pearson was wide open. And Garrett, I think, maybe tried to overthrow that a little bit, thrown into that strong wind, Milt, as that was a good 5 yards over Malachi Pearson's head. And unfortunate for the Berries as he was wide open. That would have been an easy conversion for the 1st down. But again, you talked about at the start of the game about the wind being a major factor, and we saw it rear its ugly head on that play.
Well, it's been perfect weather for the first 2 games.
Yes, it has.
Temperature-wise, it's still there.
Yes, it is.
But wind has not been as much of a factor as it will be tonight.
4th down and 10. Gavin George again to punt. Snap is good. Much better job blocking this time. A line drive kick to keep it out of the wind, and it takes a Logansport bounce, and it will roll out near the 43-yard line. So good punt that time. 33 net yards on that punt from Gavin George. But Lafayette Harrison again will start in Logansport territory. 1st down and 10 at the Logansport 43-yard line. 5 minutes, 36 seconds to play. In our first quarter, Lafayette Harrison has had the ball once, and they scored a touchdown with a successful point after. They lead 7-0. And we'll see what the Raiders have in store on their second drive of this young contest.
Well, again, it's making it a little too easy for them when you're starting in your... They're already starting in Logansport territory.
Kanoy under center with Dixon behind him. And now option right. Berries have it strung up to the edge, and then 1st down and much more inside the 30, inside the 20. He's still on his feet, cuts it to the inside. He is inside the 5-yard line. Marcel Atiso. First time we've called his name tonight.
Won't be the last.
No, it sure won't. That was a very, very well-executed play. Kanoy did a nice job with the option pitch. He had some blocking, and he got to the edge quite easily. And a huge run all the way down to the 3-yard line. 40-yard gain for Atiso. 1st and goal for Lafayette Harrison at the Logansport 3-yard line as we approach 5 minutes and 15 seconds to play in our opening quarter. Harrison already on top 7-0, and they're knocking on the door to add to that 1 touchdown lead. Dixon, the lone setback behind Kanoy. Kanoy back to pass. Pass is thrown into the end zone and complete for a touchdown. Jake Smith. The split end. Caught that one. 2 receivers in the air. It looked like he overthrew one guy, which he did. But Smith was in the corner of the end zone. And another touchdown for Lafayette Harrison. A 3-yard TD pass from Kanoy to Smith. So 2 touchdowns in just over 2 minutes of game action, and Harrison on top 13-0. On for the point after now is Jarek Menon. The kick is up, and the kick is good as that's way, way back on the Logansport track. As the Raiders taking advantage of the wind that they've had at their back in this first quarter, and I'm sure that was a big reason why they decided to defer after winning the coin toss.
Logansport would have done the same thing.
Absolutely.
Talking to Coach Johnson, as we're standing down the field for the pregame, he knew if they won the toss, they were going to take the wind in the first half.
And we see Will Penny in the stands. Will about to embark on his college career at IUK. And our old friend Steve Isaacs is here as well. There's the Jackson crowd, so a lot of familiar faces in the stands tonight. As the stadium is filling up nicely on this beautiful night. Great night for the players. It's going to get a little chilly when the sun sets, but great night of football. And again, we've had 3 good nights of weather. Wind is the only factor so far that the players are dealing with here tonight.
Well, it'll be nothing like a kickoff return to spark this Berry football team. They need some kind of a spark. They need something, I guess, to slow Harrison down. And again, that was a concern coming in, was whether the Berries could slow Harrison's offense down.
Drake McLaughlin, Charlie O'Connor back to receive this kickoff from Menon, who puts a strong right foot into it, and that is out of the back of the end zone. Menon with a strong right leg. He doesn't need a lot of help with that strong wind, but with that wind at his back, a deadly combination. So the Berries will take over 1st down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So the Berries have had 3 drives so far. One started at their own 20, one started at their own 5, and this one at their own 20. So Harrison has had the ball twice, started inside Logansport territory both times. So the field position battle decidedly in the favor of Lafayette Harrison. They have the wind at their back, and they've taken full advantage of all of those factors to take a 14-0 lead with 5:05 to go here in our first quarter. We'll see what Logansport can do on their third possession of the night. Barron back to pass. Got plenty of time. Pass is complete to Malachi Pearson. Pearson's brought down near the 25-yard line. Tackled by Smith.
Well, that breaks a string of 2 consecutive incompletes by Garrett Barron, so he's now 3 out of 5. And remember last week it was Malachi Pearson that sort of sparked that offense. There was nothing going in the second quarter, Joe, offensive. They were in negative yardage rushing the football, and then 3 pass completions to Malachi Pearson got them going. And the only positive rushing yardage they had in that quarter, I think, was a 19-yard run by Garrett Barron for a touchdown.
Hand off to Josh Manford. Good push again from that Logansport front. He is near the first down. I believe he's going to be just short.
Boy, just by a nose.
Yep, they got a good spot that time.
They're going to take. Oh, they're giving it to him.
Yep.
Well, good for them.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, from where we were, where we stand, looked like the initial stop was just short of the 30-yard line, but forward progress, and the Berries get themselves a break. And they could use a break after what has transpired here in the start of this contest with Lafayette Harrison on top 14-0, 3:45 to go in our first quarter. Now 3 receivers out to the left for the Berries. Barron pass is complete to Drake McLaughlin across the 35-yard line near another first down. He'll be spotted about a yard short out to the 39-yard line. But another hookup between Garrett Barron and Drake McLaughlin. I believe that's his 3rd catch of this first quarter.
3rd catch with a couple of runs also. So 5 plays that Drake McLaughlin's been involved in.
So the Bears have it 2nd down and a yard. They have it at their own 39-yard line. Now we got a flag on the play, and we're going to get a false start on the Berries, who had 3 penalties all of last week, and that is their 3rd penalty in less than 9 minutes to start. And that's not something that Coach Johnson wants to see. And against a quality opponent like Lafayette Harrison, they just cannot afford to have those kind of mistakes. Now instead of 2nd down and 1, now it's 2nd down and 6, and that could change the entire complexion of this drive with one simple false start penalty. As we approach 3 minutes to play in our first quarter. Lafayette Harrison 14, Logansport nothing. Now 3 receivers come out to the left, 1 receiver out to the right, and Josh Manford in the backfield with Garrett Barron. Barron back to pass. Pass is very nearly intercepted. Malachi Pearson was open on the slant and pattern, but Thomas Urban read that all the way and broke up the pass. And now we'll set up 3rd down and 6.
He had his first interception last week, did Thomas Urban. And that was close to number 2.
Yeah, it sure was. As he read that all the way, looked into the eyes of Garrett Barron and broke up that pass. So the Bears with a difficult down and distance here. Now 3rd down and 6 at their own 34-yard line. They need to get to their own 40 to keep this drive alive. 1 receiver split out wide to the right. Now in motion is Vizcarra. Back to pass is Barron. Pass is overthrown. Again, Malachi Pearson was open.
That ball just takes off.
And again, Barron overshoots as he took quite a shot after he delivered that incomplete pass to Malachi Pearson.
Both those passes that have taken off and just sailed have gone in that same direction. So obviously the wind must be giving it an uplift there.
Yep. So I'll have to.
Boy, what a difference that penalty made in that drive.
Gavin George for his 3rd punt of the night. High snap. George is able to get it down and has a nice end-over-end punt. Wind rocks it down. Bobbled the ball, but coming up with it, he recovers his own miscue. Was Wood. But the Berries Lafayette Harrison for the first time tonight will start a drive in their own territory at the 42-yard line.
So the Berries have been able to pick up a couple first downs, so they've shown some signs of being able to move the football. But Boy, that 5-yard penalty didn't seem like a big one, but it sure made a difference.
Yes, it did.
Oh, there's another one.
Bears jump offside. As Donnie Cardona was trying to anticipate the snap count, jumped into the neutral zone. Another Logansport penalty. So already in less than 10 minutes of game action, they have more penalties than they did all of last Friday against Frankfort. So 1st and 5 for Harrison. As you said, Harrison doesn't need much help from the Berries. And Logansport, unfortunately, has given them some help here in this first quarter. And the Raiders have taken advantage of every opportunity Logansport has presented them. 1st and 5 at the 48-yard line. Dixon handoff up the middle into Logansport territory. He'll have the first down as he continues to push the pile forward out near the 45-yard line. We'll spot him just short of the 45 out to the 46. Give him 6 yards on that first down carry.
Boy, he was taking Logansport defenders with him.
Yes, he was. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to play, first quarter. Lafayette Harrison 14, Logansport nothing. Harrison has, for the 3rd time tonight, they have scored touchdowns on each of their first 2 possessions. As we see the new head baseball coach of the Logansport Berries, Danny Fry, late arriving to the stadium. See what Harrison comes up with on this new set of downs. Canoy from the shotgun, back to pass, has lots of time. Got a man open, the pass is going to be caught. Well thrown, and nicely done that time. Marcel Atiso got behind that Logansport secondary. Pass was perfectly delivered. And another first down for Lafayette Harrison, this time down to the 10-yard line. 36 yards on that pass play. 1st and goal for the Raiders.
Well, it's they're making it look rather easy at this point, Joe. So,
and this is what we were hoping we would not see, but against this very good Lafayette Harrison team. But the Raiders clicking on all cylinders here in this first quarter. They have it 1st and goal at the Logansport 10-yard line. Atiso from the I formation will dart into the end zone for a touchdown. Did a nice job eluding a couple of blocks, or a couple of tackles, beg your pardon, and into the end zone for a 10-yard touchdown run. So Lafayette Harrison has taken full advantage of the wind at their back, and the field position battle, they have won that decisively, and they now lead 20-0 with the point after to come with 1:26 to go. I think Coach Johnson and his squad just can't wait for this quarter to turn so they can at least have the wind in their direction to start that second quarter. Menon on for the point after. Kick in, we get a flag on the play. And we'll see.
Well, if you're waiting for him to miss an extra point, Joe, you're going to be waiting a while because he hasn't missed one this year. So he's, if they count this one, he's 10 for 10.
The initial signal was offside on the Berries, so that will move it half the distance. And now we'll not maybe wondered if maybe Harrison would decide to go for 2, but they will keep the kicking unit out there. As Milt mentioned, Menon has not missed an extra point all season long, so he'll have an extra 1.5 yards closer. Not that he needs it with that strong right leg. Harrison 20, Logansport nothing. 1:26 to go, quarter number 1. As Menon puts his foot into it, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:26 to go, first quarter. It is Lafayette Harrison 21, Logansport nothing. The Bears have done a couple of good things here in this first quarter, but unfortunate, a key drop in their first drive, a big penalty on their third drive has derailed any kind of momentum they had offensively. And Lafayette Harrison taking advantage with the wind at their backs in this first quarter. Have dominated field position and dominated the action on the scoreboard as they lead 21-0 with still 1:26 to go in our first quarter.
Well, the best part was they had to go a little farther.
Right. With
that drive. At least it was in their own territory that it started. So I guess we'll take a little bit of step at a time here. And again, they were moving the football. The Berries had it 2nd and 1. And you know that with a 5-yard penalty just changes what you call there.
Absolutely.
And almost forced them to go to the pass, and just did not work. Have to give it up on downs again.
So Menon to kick off yet again for Harrison, a high end-over-end kick. O'Connor will watch it go into the end zone for another touchback. So 3 of his 4 kicks have resulted in touchbacks so far. The one that was not a touchback, the Bears were guilty of an illegal block in the back, and they started at the 5. So this is the third drive out of the 4 that they've had tonight, starting at their own 20-yard line. And we'll see, knowing that the wind is awaiting them in the second quarter, as Coach Johnson maybe run the ball a couple times to try to chew out the remaining seconds of this clock here in this first quarter, for no other reason than to get the wind in the second quarter. 3 receivers out the right. Like I said, the Bears throw the ball complete to Drake McLaughlin on a bubble screen out on the right side. Fights his way near the 23-yard line. We'll have to see where they spot it. Actually might have got another good spot from the side judge.
They put it down. There we go, 4 yards.
Getting 4 yards on the play. I thought it was closer to 2, but the Bears, for at least the second time tonight, appear to be the beneficiary of a good spot. They'll have it 2nd down and 6 at their own 24-yard line. Clock running, 50 seconds to play, first quarter. Harrison 21, Logansport nothing. The North Central Conference opener for both squads. Barron in the shotgun. Vizcarra in motion to the left. The handoff to Manford up the middle, and he is hit immediately and brought down for a loss. Good surge that time. Quentin Farrell from his nose guard position broke through, and a loss of a yard.
He didn't have much of a chance there,
no.
Joe. Harrison was in the very backfield almost as soon as Josh got the handoff.
Now the play clock has more time on it than the game clock, and Coach Johnson realizes that, and he calls Garrett Barron back to the sideline. So the Bears will let the remaining seconds of this quarter run out, and they will tend to this 3rd down and 7 with the wind at their back as we start the play in quarter number 2. That is the end of our first quarter. It is Harrison 21, Logansport nothing. We'll step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have our second quarter live from Logansport.
Stop into Direct Maytag in Logansport, where we're making room for Maytag brand with power-packed laundry pairs. Maytag is part of the Whirlpool Corporation, the largest appliance manufacturer in the world. Direct Maytag for sales and service on East Market Street in Logansport.
Logansport Savings Bank, we're leading the way.
Hi, this is Joshua at Logansport Savings Bank, and we're leading the way in growing our community. With the right team, you can accomplish your desired goals. Bank with us and join our team in impacting our community. Contact us at 722-3855 or at logansportsavings.com. Good luck to all of our local athletes.
Thanks for listening to AM 1230 and FM 94.9. Now back to Joe Stetz and Milt Hess for more Berries football on WSAL.
All right, Alan James, thank you very much. Welcome back to quarter number 2. Our first quarter dominated by the Lafayette Harrison Raiders. They lead 21-0. Logansport has it 3rd down and 7. They have it at their own 23-yard line. The line to make is their own 30-yard line. Bears did get a couple of first downs on their first possession, but since then they have struggled offensively. We'll see what Coach Johnson and his offensive brain trust came up with during the quarter break. 3rd and 7 with 3 receivers to the right. Barron back to pass. Protection breaks down. He puts the arm down, and he takes a big hit. Gets across the 25 near the 26-yard line. Thomas Urban delivering a big hit on Barron, and the Bears will be forced to punt following a 3-yard gain on 3rd down and 7. So it'll be 4th down and 4, and Gavin George on to punt again. This time, though, with the wind at his back.
Well, the Bears had just 29 yards of rushing in the first quarter. Joe, a little bit different than we've seen out of the first couple of games.
Quentin Wood in single safety to receive this punt. Snap not too bad. Gavin George gets it away. It will get away from Wood and take a huge Logansport bounce. Takes an extra bounce on that field turf and will roll all the way inside the 20-yard line, all the way down to the 17-yard line. Give him 57 yards on that punt, I believe. Now, he did get a lot of help from the field turf, but still put a pretty good foot into it. And Harrison by far with their worst starting field position of the night. And they have it at their own 17-yard line.
Well, as much as I'd like to think that the wind played a big factor in Harrison scoring 3 touchdowns in that first quarter, Joe, I don't know that wind was all that much of a factor for them scoring, because they moved the ball on the ground quite easily.
Yep, it did give them good field position with the advantage in the kicking game. But yeah, I'm with you completely. Their offense is clicking on all cylinders in this first quarter. Here's their first drive of quarter number 2, and they start deep in their own territory. First down and 10 at the 17. Kanoy from the shotgun. Back to pass. Got plenty of time. Got a man wide open. It is caught. Breaks a tackle across the 40. Still on his feet across the 40, near the 44-yard line. As that was Max Bunger, as there was a breakdown in the Logansport secondary as he was wide open. Bears are lucky that that didn't go for more, as it was a pretty big gain of 27 yards. They get 28 yards as they give him forward progress to the 45-yard line. First down and 10.
I only have Tyler Kanoy completing 3 passes, but he's 3 for 3. Now, again, I might have missed a couple somewhere along the way.
Now pitch to the left to Bunger. He's got a blocker, and he's in Logansport territory and more. Inside the 45, still on his feet. He finally steps out of bounds. And we got a flag on the play as there was some extracurricular activity between Charlie O'Connor and Marcel Atiso. So we'll have to see. As it is, a gain to the 37-yard line. 18-yard pickup on that run from Bunger.
And I think that's going against the Berries, at least initial indication.
Yeah, because Charlie O'Connor didn't like he got pancaked on a good block, and Charlie had something to say afterward. I believe that's going to be the call.
And unless they call that blindside block situation, Joe, that we
that's true.
Ran into the first game of the year.
I just don't the conversations always get me with these officials. You throw the flag, obviously you saw something. What's taking so long to decide? So we'll see. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Harrison. Okay.
Well, it's their first penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Harrison.
So that will give the Berries, that will wipe out a big gain still. And that is a dead ball foul, I believe. So the down should count. They will mark it off 15 yards.
And Bunger had already stepped up. They'd already blown the whistle.
Or they point in the wrong direction? I believe they pointed in the wrong direction, so.
Okay, all right. Well, so Harrison still doesn't have a penalty.
Still doesn't have a penalty.
And that will be the biggest penalty the Berries have had, because even when they got penalized before for a big one, it didn't get the full amount out of it because it's half the distance. So that is a full 15 yards on this.
So the Berries miscues continue, and Harrison now in business once again. First down and 10 at the Logansport 22-yard line. Kanoy under center. Dixon single setback behind him with Atiso and Bunger in the wingback positions. Bunger in motion. Now on the counter handoff to Atiso. He's got some running room inside the 10. First down, Donnie Cardona on the stop, but not before Atiso gets all the way down to the 8-yard line. Skylar Trujillo also in on the stop. 14-yard pickup from Atiso. That was a well-designed counter play that time to Atiso. And as you mentioned, the wind didn't have a whole lot to do with Harrison's success moving the football, as they have shown no ill effects going into the win here on their first drive of this second quarter. Already up 21-0 with 10 minutes and 15 seconds to play in our first half. And the Raiders have it first and goal at their own 8-yard line. Dixon, the lone setback behind Kanoy, who's under center. Kanoy back to pass. Got by Zion King, but it looked like he was out of bounds.
I think, and that's the first incompletion for Tyler.
.180 over 111, and I had a stroke. When I woke up, I couldn't speak or walk.
145 over 92, and then I had a heart attack.
182 over 100, and I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke. Everything changed. It felt like my life was over.
This is what high blood pressure sounds like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent.
150 over 90, and I had a stroke. If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation. 180 over 110, and I had a stroke. And I'm 33, so I never see this coming.
If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it. Or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Head to toe, everything's changed. Head to toe.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
or if that resume was from someone who
worked 12-hour shifts at the recycling company with my dad, who's 72. That taught me a work ethic that I carry with me every day.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone.
Growing up where I did, a lot of things could have gotten in the way of my goals, but I learned to push through, and that's what I bring to work every day.
So maybe it's time we look beyond the resume and look to Grads of Life. Discover new ways to develop great talent that are so much more than what's on paper at gradsoflife.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to LMH Stadium. Technical difficulties as the wind is wreaking havoc on all sorts of things here tonight, including the kicking game for Lafayette Harrison, as Menon's 30-yard field goal got into that wind and was absolutely destroyed. So the field goal is no good. Logansport will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, trailing 21-0. Barron back to pass. The pass is complete and hit and tackled immediately, but it's still a positive yardage gain. Caleb Miller makes the reception to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5. So Lafayette Harrison with a big penalty on their last possession. Their first penalty of the night. They had it 1st and goal at the 8. A false start penalty pushed them back to the 13-yard line and a couple of incomplete passes. And then the missed field goal as the wind played a key factor in that miss from the strong right leg of Jarek Menon. So after that missed field goal, Logansport has it. Got it at their own 20. Now they have it at their own 25-yard line. 2nd down and 5. 9 minutes to go in our second quarter. Josh Manfred, handoff up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle across the 30, out to the 35-yard line. Good hard run that time from Josh Manfred. Chad Galt on the stop for Harrison, but a Logansport 1st down. And for no other reason, Milt, the Berries needed that just to slow the momentum down of this high-powered Lafayette Harrison offense.
Well, the defense got to win.
Absolutely.
On that Harrison drive, and got a little help with a Harrison penalty in there. The Berries will take it. They won't apologize for that. But that was a win to stop Harrison.
1st and 10 for Logansport at the 35-yard line. Pass is through the hands of Miller, who tried to run before he.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Tom and Levi.
Tom is the smartest man I know. He's been a professor at 2 major universities, been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, he told me that he was having problems in his classes. I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. And he was telling them that he was doing it as a favor to them, but I think in reality, he just wanted to get out of there. I was really starting to worry because I saw something was wrong.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me, and my love for him was just immense.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Welcome back to LMH Stadium. Easy for me to say, and unfortunately for the Berries, while we were away, Brock Robertson, a 53-yard interception return for a touchdown. Garrett Barron overthrew a receiver in the right flat, and Robertson had wide open turf in front of him, carried it all the way into the end zone. Kick by Menon is up, and it is good with 5 minutes and 54 seconds to play. Quarter number one. Berries, after that defensive win that you talked about, Milt, had a good drive going, got it near midfield. And unfortunately, a big sack put them in long down and distance on third down. And Garrett Barron slightly overthrew a receiver, and that's what you don't want to do as a quarterback when you overthrow it, because that allows the secondary to pick it off. And Brock Robertson had wide open turf in front of him. And it's now 28-0, just past the midway point of our second quarter, 5:54 to go here in our first half.
I think Garrett may be having a little bit of trouble at, adjusting to that wind. Both directions.
Right. Yep.
I mean, he's got a great arm, but tonight so far, again, going each way, into the wind and with the wind, he's overthrown his receivers several times.
So, Berries will see the strong right leg of Jarek Menon. But this time the Berries, just as we were about to talk about the wind, it looks like it has died down a little bit as the flags are not blowing an awful lot. Any wind that is blowing right now is in the face of Jarek Menon, 6'3" 195-pound senior. And O'Connor and McLaughlin set to return this for the Berries as they're standing at their own 9-yard line. 5:54 to go, first half. Harrison 28, Logansport nothing. The Berries would love to put a touchdown on the board before halftime. And in a high end-over-end kick, and the wind completely knocks that down. Fielded by one of the Berries up men. He bobbles it. The ball is up for grabs, and Lafayette Harrison will fall on it inside the 40-yard line. Didn't make out who it was. I believe it was Isaiah Martinez, I think, was one of the up-backs. He was in position to make it. Unfortunately for the Berries, it bounced off his shoulder pad, and then it took a Harrison bounce. And once it got away from that Logansport return team, Harrison was able to recover it very easily. So back-to-back turnovers for the Berries, an interception return for a touchdown. And now they have another drive starting in Logansport territory. First down and 10 at the Berries' 37-yard line. Dixon, the lone setback behind Kanoy. Kanoy back to pass. Has good protection. Has a man open. The pass is overthrown and incomplete. A late flag comes in. And I think it was a good call. Skylar Trujillo definitely made contact with Marcel Atiso. Some of the Berries fans may argue that it was uncatchable, but definitely some contact made prior to the ball getting to Atiso, and another Logansport penalty.
And I don't think there is such a thing as an uncatchable. I don't think they have that come into play in high school football.
So pass interference penalty, 15 yards, another major penalty against the Logansport Berries. This really hurt them opening night against Peru. They cleaned that up significantly a week ago against Frankfurt with just 3 penalties in the entire game, but they have eclipsed that long ago, and the major penalties continue to hurt the Berries. So Lafayette Harrison will have it first down and 10 now at the Berries' 22-yard line, I formation, and an option pitch to Atiso. He's got some run room inside the 20. He's to the edge, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds. And we got a late flag coming in, and if it was maybe a face mask, Skylar Trujillo made the tackle on Atiso. They mark him out at the 5-yard line after a 17-yard gain. We'll let the officials sort out with the flag, and the initial indication looks like a face mask on Logansport.
Well,
the official will give us a signal, and that is the case. Good news for the Berries will be another half the distance. The bad news is because the Berries because the Raiders are so close to the goal line. It'll be half the distance and marked down to the 2.5-yard line. That's where Harrison will snap the football. First and goal. Still 5 minutes and 35 seconds to play in our first half.
I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough room in my penalty box here to keep track of these things the way it's going.
It's just been a rash of penalties for the Berries, unfortunately, tonight. Atiso in motion to the right. The handoff to Dixon, and he will walk into the end zone for a 3-yard touchdown. So Omarion Dixon, his second touchdown run of the night. This one comes at the 5:31 mark. So the Raiders with 2 touchdowns in 23 seconds. And they have a commanding 34-0 lead with 5 minutes and 31 seconds to play in our first half. And I think all Berry fans thought that knew that Harrison was going to be a tough matchup, and the Raiders indeed have been very, very good so far tonight. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 5:31 to go, second quarter. Lafayette Harrison 35, Logansport nothing. And the Berries have really hurt themselves as well with a couple of costly turnovers. Some penalties that have really hurt them. A couple of drops on some passes to thwart any positive drives they've had offensively. But the biggest problem has been the Harrison Raiders. This is a very good football team. And that opening night loss to a very good Westfield team, very misleading, 55-20, but Westfield a 6A power. They're going to a lot of football games before the end of the season, and Coach Johnson talked about how good Culver Academy is. But Harrison manhandled them a week ago, 24-3, and they are in front comfortably now, 35-0 with 5.5 minutes to go here in our second quarter.
Well, try to grasp something positive out of this first half, Joe, but it's probably gone about as bad for the Berries as it could possibly go.
Yeah.
Again, the penalties have just killed them. Turnovers. Just
block punt. That's our block punt on special teams early in the first quarter.
Mentioned early, Harrison doesn't need any help.
No,
they're good enough on their own. But again, wind or no wind, they've dominated. I don't care what direction the wind is blowing.
So Drake McLaughlin, Charlie O'Connor, standing about their 10-yard line. Barry's got to be alert for a short kick as Menon kicks into the wind and gets a much stronger foot into this one. Chases McLaughlin back to his 5-yard line, across the 10, across the 20-yard line, still on his feet. And there he is tackled. But a nice gain that time. A good return for O'Connor. Out across the 20-yard line. We'll see where the officials spot it, and that's where Logansport will start this drive. First down and 10 at their own 24-yard line. 5:24 to go here in our second quarter. Harrison with 21 points in the first quarter. They've added 14 here in the second. They lead 35-0. We'll see what the Bears can come up with here with 5:24 to go. Handoff to McLaughlin around the right side. Breaks one tackle and breaks no more. I see you stopped right there as we have a knock on the door here in the press box.
You're taking quite a chance by opening that.
You are not kidding us. It was great. It's Greg Dominic who came in. If I'd known that, we'd have kept the door shut.
Yeah, you have nobody to blame but yourself for that, Joe.
Good to see Mr. Dominic here. And
need to get a peephole in that door.
That's for sure. So no gain on the play. Mm-hmm. So he's looking for the PA man, Jeremy Hall. Second down and 10 for the Berries. Vizcarra gets the handoff around the left side, but before that can happen, a flag on the play. And we'll see if your penalty box will fill up even a little bit more, and it will on a false start penalty from the Berries. And Milt, I think you said it right just a couple minutes ago. It's gone about as bad as it could for the Berries here in this first half, and it just continues. Another penalty. Mark it back to the 19-yard line now. Second down and 15. So it's tough enough to beat Harrison when you got to get 10 yards per series of downs, but when you go backwards via penalty, it really, really makes things difficult. Second and 15 for the Berries. Barron will keep it himself across the 20, and he is hit hard. They'll give him forward progress out to the 21-yard line. So, third down and long.
Well,
for the Berries.
Just be thankful we're not playing Westfield tonight,
yeah,
Joe.
Oh, my goodness.
Because Westfield did a pretty good number on this Harrison team, first game of the year.
So we get a stoppage of play as the Berries will take their first charge timeout of the first half. It comes at the 4:02 mark of this second quarter. Harrison 35, Logansport nothing. The Berries on the road next Friday. And if you believe in this sort of thing, Friday the 13th, as the Berries will travel to Indianapolis Tech, our longest trip of the season. And the Harrison Raiders will be at home, and they'll have themselves a tall task as they play host to Lafayette Jeff next Friday night.
I think that was actually an official timeout. Barron apparently was bleeding on his left lower shin, it looks like, so they've wrapped him up.
Okay.
So Berries, if they need him. Now, he's going to have to come out of play. It looks like Jeremiah Miller will go in for at least a play here on third down and 13?
Third and 13, so yeah, nothing to it, Mr. Miller. Just down 35-0, third and 13 for your first play of the night, but why not see what the young man can do here as the clock restarts following the officials' timeout. 3:45 to go, second quarter. Harrison 35, Logansport nothing. The Berries have it third down and 13 at their own 21-yard line, and the miscue on the handoff from the center exchange, beg your pardon, but somehow Miller was able to get it to Manfred. That could have been disastrous. It was a big loss, but that's a whole lot better than a turnover. And the Berries will be forced to kick this ball away. It'll be inside of 3 minutes by the time this ball is snapped.
Actually, they only
35-0.
ended up losing 2 yards on that, but so got a pretty good spot.
Yep. That's one area the Bears have had some pretty good luck in tonight. The spots,
spotting.
They've had 3 or 4 get a couple extra yards.
Yep.
There's Coach Matt Lang, Coach Steve Isaacs from the Berries basketball team in here, taking in some of the action. High snap, but Gavin George is able to come up with it and puts a good, strong foot into it. We'll take another Logansport bounce, and this will roll dead inside the 30, still rolling all the way down to the 25-yard line. So that is a 56-yard punt. So Gavin George with a couple of 50-plus yard punts has had the help of the wind a little bit in the field turf, but still, the Berries will take some positivity any way they can get it, and another strong punt from Gavin George.
Well, and that has been at least a brighter spot for Logansport, because you know Coach Johnson mentioned
absolutely
in pregame that certainly that has been an area of concern is the punting game, and the snaps have been good.
Yep.
You had the one block punt to get started where it took maybe took a little too long to get it off, but since then they've attempted 5 punts. And 4 of them have been pretty good.
Yes, sure have. First down and 10, Harrison has it at their own 25-yard line. Kanoy tried to get the Berries to jump, but the Berries with some good discipline. They flinched on the hard count, but stayed out of the neutral zone, so Harrison will have to snap it away. And Kanoy will hand off to Dixon. He's got some running room across the 30. Falls forward near the first down. We'll have to see where the official spot it. Now the official closest to us has it at the 34. The official closest to the chains has it at the 35, and they're going to go with the official closest to the chains, and they give him that 10-yard spot out at the 35-yard line. 10-yard pickup for Dixon on first down. And Harrison going without a huddle as they want to add to this 35-0 lead before halftime, which has 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play. Up 35-0. Hand off to Dixon, and he's got some running room into Logansport territory. Still on his feet, runs over Gavin George all the way down to the 38-yard line. And Dixon, I think, had a couple of different holes to choose from. He had a hole to the left and had a hole to his right. Chose to the right side and probably made the right decision as he's down to the 38-yard line. 27-yard pickup on that play. First and 10, Harrison back to the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes to go in our first half. The Raiders on top, 35-0. Kanoy under center, hands off again to Dixon. Dixon again with some running room, has the first down and more. 15, 10, gets a block, 5, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. 38-yard touchdown run from Omarion Dixon, his third of this first quarter. And the route is on, unfortunately, here at LMH Stadium. 41-0 with still 1:51 to go here in our first half. We hadn't seen a whole lot of Omarion Dixon after that first drive, but they got a steady dose of him on this drive, and he shows why he's their featured back. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good from Jarek Menon. 1 minute and 51 seconds to play in our first half. Harrison with 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, 3 touchdowns in the second quarter, and they lead 42-0. For reference, last year's game at Lafayette Harrison, 45-21 was the final score. And the game very misleading. The Bears were very competitive. That did not seem like a 45-21 decision, but here tonight, the score pretty much reflects what we've seen so far.
Well, the drive was longer.
Yeah.
But it didn't take very long to go 75 yards. And Omarion Dixon, the main cog of that.
Yep.
38 yards on just the touchdown run alone. 27 before that.
Yep, and 10 before that. So I think a 3-play, 75-yard drive. All runs from Omarion Dixon. And the Raiders, with their third touchdown of this second quarter, they extend now to a 42-0 lead. Bears do have all 3 of their timeouts left, and they do have the wind at their back. So if they want to try to put something on the scoreboard prior to the end of the half, they do have an opportunity. It all depends on what transpires here on this kick return.
At what point do they put that running clock into effect, Joe?
I was thinking the same thing. And I don't know if they have to wait for the second half to start, because I believe it's a 35-point lead. But I think it's second half if memory serves. Here's a high kickoff from Menon. McLaughlin fields it at the 6-yard line. They set up a return to the right. He's got some running room across the 25 and stopped right there. And on the stop, Chad Galt.
That was Trujillo, actually.
Skylar Trujillo. Okay, beg your pardon. So we saw Skylar return the ball quite a bit last year. He's not been featured as much this season. But nothing new to Trujillo, who, as we mentioned, was a big part of their return game a year ago. So the Berries have a first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Well, I think this will be their best starting position, Joe.
I think you're right. They had it at the 24 last time.
Yep.
Barron back to pass. The pass is caught by Miller, following a short gain out to the 29. Give him 4. Second down and 6. Clock continues to move. Minute 30 to go, first half. Harrison 42, Logan Sport nothing. We invite you to stay tuned for the Logan Sport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show coming your way here in just a couple minutes here at Logan Sport Memorial Hospital Stadium. A minute 15 to play in our first half. Harrison in complete domination so far in this one, 42-0. Bears have it second down and 5 at their own 30. Now 3 receivers out to the left for the Logan Sport offense. And Barron will hand off to Manfred up the middle, hit right at the line of scrimmage, breaks a couple of tackles. Urban on the stop. Manfred gets 4, though, out of that play, out to the 33-yard line. It will be third and short for the Berries, third down and 2. Clock continues to move, down to 40 seconds to play in our first half. With the Raiders on top, 42-0. 3 receivers again split out to the left for the Berries. And Manfred, the lone set, back in the backfield. Barron from the shotgun will kick it himself on a quarterback keeper. He'll have the first down across the 35 to the 37-yard line. 4-yard pickup on that quarterback keeper. The clock stops temporarily.
Well,
to look to move the chains.
What that does is keep you from having to give it back to Harrison.
Right.
One more time in this half. So, pretty big first down there for Garrett Barron to keep from having to punt it away again.
So the clock restarts after the chains move, already down now to 15 seconds. Malachi Pearson to the bottom of the formation, split out wide to the right. Vizcarra in motion, Barron back to pass. Has a little bit of time, now passes through the fingertips of Manfred, and that dangerously could have been picked off. As in the area was Tyler Bell. Very nearly got that deflection. Clock stopped with 2.1 seconds to go, so barring a defensive penalty, this will be the end, or the final play, beg your pardon, of the first half. Harrison comfortably on top, 42-0. Well, you talked about Garrett's strong right arm. They got the wind at their backs, so Malachi Pearson just send him on a fly pattern and see what maybe the Bears can get a penalty or a completion, maybe make something happen positive here at the end of this first half. Barron back to pass. The pass is very nearly intercepted. And that will do it, as it was behind Manfred. Bell again in coverage. And that will do it for our first half. The score, Harrison 42, Logan Sport nothing. We will step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have our Logan Sport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show live from Logan Sport.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance knows you're good at holding your phone so that you can record your kid's recital without blocking the view of the parents behind you. You're good at stopping the gas pump exactly on double zeros. Yes! We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
You handle life, I handle insurance. Let me help you with your business, home, auto, life, and farm insurance needs. Call me, Karina Lembeck, today at 574-753-3143. I want to be your Indiana Farm Bureau agent.
Security Federal Savings Bank has been serving our community since 1934. Security Federal is here for you. Like summer nights and fireflies, we go better together. Member FDIC.
Tyson Fresh Meats in Logansport is always looking to add to their family, and job opportunities are always possible. Tyson offers good benefits, above average wages, and premium wages for skilled trades. More information can be found online at TysonFoodsCareers.com. Tyson Fresh Meats in Logansport wishes the best of luck to all of our local athletes.
WSAL sports coverage of Logansport Berries football. It's time for the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show. Now back to the stadium. Here's Joe Stetz and Milt Hess.
All right, Alan James, thank you very much. Welcome to the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine halftime show. It is Lafayette Harrison 42 and Logansport nothing.
The field is yours.
he agreed to deliver the game ball via parachute. And so that got nixed not because of the wind. I thought, well, maybe
that's what I thought too.
Maybe it's too windy to take that chance. He was not coming in by himself. Obviously, he was going to be strapped to somebody else in a tandem deal. But the fact he agreed to it in the first place is beyond my realm of comprehension.
Amen.
But they called that off because of the low ceiling. So the plane would have had to, before they were going to get up to, was higher than what the clouds were, apparently.
Right.
So they didn't want to be jumping through clouds, is my understanding. But anyway, Brian Strong must have found something else to do. We were going to maybe get his take on why he agreed to that in the first place, and then just get him to talk about Logansport athletics.
Right.
Now that we're in the heat of the fall sports season. But anyway, I'm sure it doesn't take long for an athletic director to get caught up in something else going on.
Right. And once I realized that he wasn't going to be here, I texted our freshman basketball coach, Steve Isaacs, to see if he'd be our halftime guest. And he headed the opposite direction. So I guess the answer to that is no. So we'll continue. We step aside for break. Still plenty more to come here on the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show. Our score is Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
We're building better health and stronger student athletes with the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Program. We're here for your home team, partnering with local schools to provide on-site athletic training and direct access to care from our team of orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, and a foot and ankle specialist who know just what it takes to get student athletes back in the game and keep them there. To learn more about our on-site athletic training services, visit logansportmemorial.org/sportsmedicine.
The end of summer means football season. It also means it's time to get your furnace checked. Call the professionals at Wilkinson Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing in Logansport. If you're ready to buy a new HVAC system, now's the time. You can save hundreds of dollars on their end of summer sale. Call Wilkinson's right now, 753-2208. With over 80 years of dedication to the Cass County community, Security Federal Savings Bank strives to provide a better kind of banking for our customers. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Logansport Berries football on WSAL. More of the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show is next. Here's Joe Stett and Milt Hess.
All right, Alan James, thank you very much. Welcome back to the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show, live from Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. Halftime score, Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. As bad as that sounds, it's worse for Benton Central. They're trailing 54-0 at the half versus Lewis Cass. I got a feeling the Cass Kings are going to have lots of good Friday nights as they've got themselves quite a ball club down in Walton.
Yeah, and you wonder, how much they're able to get out of a game like that. Maybe get some guys some playing time that get them some experience that would not get that experience otherwise. But as far as helping you down the road for your varsity players, don't know how much they'll get out of that. But yeah, which we're finding out they're ranked third in one poll and fifth in another in 2A, and so Pioneer shouldn't be feeling too badly about losing to these Lewis Cass Kings in the first game of the year.
So a neat thing going on here at halftime is the youth football program of Logansport. All the players introduced. It's my understanding that if you wore your youth jersey, you got in free tonight. So a lot of the kids took advantage of that. And Jeremy Hall, the public address announcer, introducing all those young players, and now they're forming the tunnel as the Berries return from their halftime talk with Coach Johnson. And well, that's not an easy talk to have as a coach when you're up against a very good opponent, down 42-0. It's hard to come up with a good halftime speech under those circumstances.
Yeah, we talked early on. Needed to try to do something to slow Harrison down. That was a concern. He was concerned about their physicality and the physical play, and it's unfortunately it's played out just the way he thought it would. And again, the Berries helped them with penalties and a couple of turnovers. And as we've mentioned several times, Harrison does not need the help, did not need the help. They don't need it in the second half, and I think you're going to get to a running clock situation now. And so that, at this point, you just hope you don't get anybody hurt.
Exactly. Yep.
And so far, we haven't seen that from what we've watched, because the Berries have lost 2 linemen in 2 games. Now Eli Starkey, it sounds like maybe back toward the end of the season. But again, they don't want to rush that situation. He had a pretty bad hamstring. This was not just a pulled hamstring. He tore one and fractured a bone in that leg as well. So he is a junior. He's not a senior, so you don't want to rush him back. He's got another year. If you don't happen to get him back this year, you've at least got him healthy for next year. So you don't want to rush his recovery and his rehab. But it sounds a little different story for Noah Warsham, who went out last week early on with that broken arm situation, broke both bones in his lower arm, and so that's pretty serious there as well. So, and he's a big boy too.
Yes,
and
he
so
is.
they need that help, on either side of the ball, and so at this point. We haven't seen that.
Yep. All right, well, that will do it for the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Halftime Show. Once again, our halftime score, Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. We will step aside one last time here at halftime. When we return, we'll have our third quarter live from Logansport.
We're building better health and stronger student athletes with the Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine Program. We're here for your home team, offering services to help get student athletes back in the game and keep them there. All delivered by our team of experts that include orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, and a foot and ankle specialist. To learn more about our services for your student athletes, visit logansportmemorial.org/sportsmedicine.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance knows you're good at always making good time on road trips.
Back in the car.
You're good at starting the lawnmower on the first pull. We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
You handle life, I handle insurance. Let me help you with your business, home, auto, life, and farm insurance needs. Call me, Karina Lembeck, today at 574-753-3143. I want to be your Indiana Farm Bureau agent.
That's the Halftime Show, presented by Logansport Memorial Sports Medicine. The second half of Berries football is next. Now back to Joe Stetz and Milt Hess on your home for Berries football. AM 1230 and FM 94.9, WSAL.
All right, welcome back to Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. As the Berries down 42-0, and they will kick off as Harrison won the toss and deferred, so they will get the ball first. And Juan Perez, who had handled the punting duties the first couple of weeks, has been replaced by Gavin George, and Gavin has done a great job punting the football. This is the first time we've seen Juan Perez, who has been a stalwart on the Logansport soccer team, and that's certainly been a bright spot this fall for the Berries athletic program, as Logansport got a big win over Lafayette Jeff last night to improve to 6-0-2 on the season, and they are 2-0 in the conference. So a great start to the season for the soccer team. And Juan Perez, one of the best players in the area, if not the entire state of Indiana, has had a great season with that Logansport soccer team. Will handle the kickoff with the wind at his back. He puts a strong right leg into it, and it will go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Juan does not need a lot of help, but with the wind at his back, he was able to kick it out of the back of the end zone. So Harrison will start at their own 20-yard line.
Worst field position of the night for the Raiders to start in, Joe. But last time we said that, they started on the 25 and still scored a touchdown, probably just five plays later, or if that many.
So we will see if the running clock situation, and that indeed is the case, as the clock does continue to run even on the touchback. So a new rule put into effect in high school football this year: a 35-point lead or more in the second half will result in a running clock. It looks like the reserves are out there for the Raiders as well, as Coach Peoples certainly does not want to get one of his players hurt. Now bubble screen, it is caught, breaking a tackle and into the open field, across the 30, across the 40-yard line, still on his feet, out to midfield and beyond. As I believe that was A.J. Martin on the stop, and it was just a simple bubble screen to the right, but it was a one-on-one, and Martin broke the tackle of that initial defender, and he was off to the races, out to the midfield stripe for a 30-yard gain, and just what the Berries did not need to see on the first play of the second half.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of backups out there right now, and Jack Shrimp is the quarterback. He is a junior. Their starting quarterback, Tyler Canoy, a sophomore. And this is bad news for the NCC because they have like 67 players listed. Only 15 of them are seniors.
Wow. Now handoff inside.
Wow.
Some big running room.
Yep. They're just pushing the pile.
I thought that was Kenneth Sims, 5'8" sophomore. Like Milt said, youth is being served on this Harrison football team.
Well, majority of their roster is filled up with sophomores and juniors. They only list 5 freshmen. They only list 15 seniors. And so majority of them, the core, sophomores and juniors. So they're in good shape, are these Raiders, for a while.
Oh, yeah. And good news, Logansport gets to go to Harrison next year to play this very good football team. Have it 2nd down and 2 at the Logansport 42-yard line. Shrimp under center. And off again to Sims, breaks a tackle into the open field inside the 30, still on his feet, inside the 25, down to about the 21-yard line. Or maybe that was Davion Finley. Or was it Sims? It was Sims. Down to the 21-yard line, pickup of 21 yards. So this second unit for Lafayette Harrison picking up right where the starters left off in that first half, as they're already knocking on the door at the 22-yard line.
Well,
1st down and 10.
Folks have to keep in mind is that they are, they marked that back to 22.
Mm-hmm, yes.
This is pretty young Berries.
Yes, it is.
Defense especially, too.
1st down and 10, handoff to Sims, and he is hit right away, and he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down. Good play, I believe. That was Grayson Long in on the stop. Stopped him right at the line of scrimmage. Did give forward progress down to the 21-yard line for a gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and about 9. Harrison has it at the Logansport 21-yard line. 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play. 3rd quarter. Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. The Berries on the road next Friday night. The Berries, their longest road trip of the season, which will make the drive down to Indianapolis to take on Arsenal Tech. 7 o'clock start time on AM 1230, FM 94.9 WSAL Logansport. Now the handoff to Finley on the counter play, and he is hit for a loss. We're going to get a flag on the play, as I believe there's going to be a face mask. Skylar Trujillo was in great position to make the tackle, but he went high to make the tackle and got his hand on that face mask, and that will wipe out a great defensive play by the Berries. So when it rains, it pours with the penalties as they continue. And these aren't just your garden variety false start or offside penalties. These have been 10 and 15-yard penalties, the majority of them tonight, much as what we saw opening night against Peru. This will be half the distance, I believe. Yep. Half the distance on the personal foul face mask penalty from Trujillo. It sets up Lafayette Harrison 1st down and 10 at the Logansport 12-yard line. 7 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Harrison on top 42-0, knocking on the door, trying to add to their big lead. As Harrison has a big game next Friday night. They'll be at home taking on 6A Lafayette Jeff in the Battle of Tippecanoe County. Jeff is playing McCutcheon tonight, as they'll have back-to-back Tippecanoe County opponents. Now on the counter handoff, some running room, and a good tackle that time by Skylar Trujillo as he brings down.
Is he listed?
Brendan Gothrop, a 6-foot freshman. So just what Harrison needs, some more young players on there. So Gothrop on the carry, gets a yard, but good play that time from Trujillo. Nice tackle in the open field. A yard pickup. It will be 2nd down and 9 for Harrison. They have it at the Logansport 11-yard line as we approach 6 minutes to play in our 3rd quarter. Harrison with 3 touchdowns in the 1st quarter, 3 more in the 2nd. They lead 42-0, and they already have a good drive going here on their initial possession of this 2nd half. Shrimp under center, and 2 running backs in motion at the same time, but I guess that's okay.
Throw that.
This is not the CFL, though. It is cold enough to be in Canada tonight. And we do get a flag for the back judge through the penalty flag. As I say, that you can't have two men in motion at the same time, so that is the call.
Seems like an odd place for the penalty flag to come from when
when you got a referee standing right there in the backfield.
Two on the side and a referee in the backfield that
but
could have seen that.
As long as somebody saw it, I believe it was the back judge who threw that penalty flag on the illegal shift.
Just the second penalty of the night, and they're both in 5-yarders.
So that will mark it back to
Harrison.
So that will mark it back to the 16-yard line, where it will make it 2nd down and 14 for Harrison. They need to get to the 2-yard line to keep this drive alive. And now Harrison will, with this big lead, will take as much time as they can in between plays. Play clock already down to 10 seconds. Shrimp hurries to the line of scrimmage. Gets his team ready to go with 4 seconds to go before they snap the ball. And Shrimp will get a snap just before the clock expires. A handoff to Gothrop, and he is hit immediately and tackled right there at the 16-yard line. I believe that was Braden Geyer on the stop. And they will give him no gain on the play. The ball remains at the 16-yard line. So a big 3rd down for this Berries defense, as they have been manhandled a little bit on this drive, but they have stiffened up here in the last couple of plays. And the Berries would love to come up with a big 3rd down stop as we approach 4 minutes to play in our 3rd quarter. Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. Again, the Raiders taking as much time as they can in between plays. Already down to 3 seconds on the play clock. Now the handoff inside. Now faking it, keeping himself on a good fake that time from Shrimp, and he will be close to the 1st down to about the 6-yard line. But a good fake that time from Jack Shrimp. I don't know if he's in relation to Detlef, the former NBA great.
Well, I don't think there's an H on the end of this guy's name. I think he's just Shrimp.
Okay, there you go.
You know, like Shrimp or like the former Three Stooge.
Oh, there you go.
Or
That's
Three
right.
Stooges. Shemp, but with an R.
So 4th down.
10 yards for him on that carry, right?
Yes, it was. 4th down and about 4. And the Raiders will go for the field goal. And they've got their backup kicker, David Ramirez, in to try. So good opportunity for this young man to try and field goal. The kick is up.
Wow.
And the kick is no good. Wide to the left. He had plenty of leg on that one, but it was the hash from the far left side. That's a tough angle. But a good opportunity for Harrison to try to get their backup kicker an opportunity. So the Berries, after a slow start to that drive, they got manhandled just a little bit, but did a nice job stiffening up and forced the missed field goal. The 2nd missed field goal of the night for Harrison. That's about the only thing that they have done wrong here in this contest. Up 42-0. Down to 2 minutes and 45 seconds to play in our 3rd quarter. And the new rule change with the running clock of a 35-point lead or more into the second half of a game. So even on the missed field goal and the change of possession, the change of both squads, the clock continues to run. 1st and 10 for the Berries. Now Josh Manford has the handoff across the 25, still on his feet, near the 30-yard line. Good hard run that time from Manford. And they will
have the 1st down.
Yep. And the beatdown continues in Walton. Lewis Cass on top of Benton Central, 68-0. 1st down and 10 for the Berries. They have it at their own 30-yard line. 1:45 to go, 3rd quarter.
Well, not so fast, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
The chains had already moved. The referee comes in and says, "No, wait a minute, I didn't give you permission, basically, to move the chains." Now he steps in and says, "Yes, it is a 1st down." They marked it back in the nose of the ball just at the 30. Looked like he'd gotten better, more forward progress than that.
I think you're right. 3 receivers out to the right now for the Berries. The handoff to Manford, breaks the tackle, now cuts it to the outside, across the 35, out near the 40-yard line, going to be just shy of the 1st down. At least we think he's going to be shy of the 1st down. We saw that on the previous play, and the official was overruled by the chain gang. But a nice gain for Manford on 1st down, a 9-yard pickout out to the 39-yard line, down to a minute to play in our 3rd quarter. Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. So Berries a key road game next Friday night against Indianapolis Tech. That has been a pretty competitive series the last couple of years. Now Manfred will keep it himself. He'll have the first down across the 40, across the 45. Still on his feet. He drags a couple of Harrison players with him near the midfield stripe.
Another 10-yard gain, it looks like.
Out to the 49-yard line. The clock continues to run. With our running clock here in the second half. So already down to 20 seconds left. The Berries do not have to run another play here in this third quarter if they do not want to, although
they probably do with the wind.
I was about to say it, with the wind at their back, and maybe take a shot downfield because they've got 3 receivers split out to the left. This could be their last play with the wind at their back. They do take a shot. The pass is nearly intercepted, but it is caught in the left flat, and they'll have a first down inside the 40-yard line. I believe that was Drake McLaughlin who made the catch on a slanting pattern. Wait for the bodies to unfold. And maybe it was Evan Vizcarra. Okay. So Evan Vizcarra with his first catch of the night down to the 39-yard line, and that will bring about an end to our third quarter of play. At the end of 3, it's Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. We'll step aside for a break and be back with our fourth quarter live from Logan Sports.
The end of summer means football season. It also means it's time to get your furnace checked. Call the professionals at Wilkinson Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing in Logansport. If you're ready to buy a new HVAC system, now's the time. You can save hundreds of dollars on their end of summer sale. Call Wilkinson's right now, 753-2208.
Stop into Direct Maytag in Logansport, where we're making room for Maytag brand with power-packed laundry pairs. Maytag is part of the Whirlpool Corporation, the largest appliance manufacturer in the world. Direct Maytag for sales and service on East Market Street in Logansport. WSAL coverage of Logansport Berries football continues as we're about to start the fourth quarter of the game. Here's Joe Stetz and Milt Hess.
Welcome back to Logansport Memorial Hospital Stadium. First play of the fourth quarter. Josh Manfred will run around the right side. He is tackled immediately. Cal Pearson in on the stop. A loss of a couple of yards back to the 41-yard line. Loss of 2. We'll make it second down and 12. So for the first time tonight, Harrison does not score in a quarter. 21 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second to take a 42-0 halftime lead. They were shut out in that third quarter, so the score remains 42-0. The Berries, though, with a nice drive going here, and handoff to Drake McLaughlin around the right side, inside the 40, close to the 35-yard line. They will give him forward progress to that 35-yard line. 6-yard pickup on second down. And a very manageable third down and 6 for the Berries.
That's his first carry since the second quarter. He had a carry for no gain in the second quarter, but he's only carried 4 times tonight. Had 4 catches in the first quarter. Yep. We haven't heard much from Drake since early on. 3rd and 6. Now counter handoff to McLaughlin. He's got the first down and more inside the 25, down to about the 22-yard line. And we got a Harrison player slow to get up. That's obviously the one thing you don't want to see at any point in a football game, but especially in a game that has long ago been decided. Arizona Brook, the injured player, and he wanted to stay out there, but the officials thought better of it, and he may have just gotten his bell ring. He's a little bit woozy on the sideline. Hopefully that's all it is. But again, don't ever want to see a player get hurt, but especially in a 42-0 game when the outcome long since decided. But the Bears have it first down and 10. Manfred gets a handoff right at the line of scrimmage. He is hemmed in and nowhere to go. Jake Walters, a freshman, in on the stop. They'll mark him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Well, he had 29 yards in the third quarter, did Josh Manfred, as part of this drive, but his last 2 have been held to a -2 in 2 carries.
2nd and 10 for the Berries. They have it at the Lafayette Harrison 22-yard line, 9:45 to go. Harrison up 42-0. Handoff to Manfred, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, still on his feet, close to the 10-yard line. He will have the first down. A good hard run that time from Manfred. 12-yard pickup. Good second and third effort. And yes, this is against Harrison's second unit, but the Berries would, just from a morale standpoint, would love to put some points on the scoreboard here before they get out of here tonight.
Well, back to their bread and butter of the running game, and get that reestablished and do what's going to be should be a majority of their success, if they have it, is with that ground game.
So the Berries have it first and goal at the Harrison 10-yard line. 9 minutes to play. Logansport down 42-0. Bearing to pass. The pass is incomplete through the fingertips of Drake McLaughlin, who has been his favorite target tonight. He was well covered on that play. Christian Barr, junior cornerback, on the coverage, following the incomplete pass. So it'll be second down and goal from the 10-yard line. Not heard anything from LaVille with Pioneer and LaVille. They got a 7:30 start to that one, but they should probably be close to halftime, if not there already. Hopefully we can get a score to pass along. Last we heard, Lewis cast big over Benton Central, 68-0, so the Kings will improve to 3-0 on the season. Now Vizcarra in motion, get the handoff to Manford up the middle. Ball comes loose. It is up for grabs, and I believe Harrison comes up with it as Manford was trying to fight for extra yardage and came in from the secondary, a Harrison defender, to knock it away. And the Berries' best drive of the night is turned away by a turnover, and I believe that is turnover number 3 for the Berries.
Yep.
Harrison does not have a turnover, and that's one of the coach's favorite stats, is the turnover margin. And when you're +3 in the turnover game, you almost never lose. Harrison is +3 in that turnover margin. They have a comfortable 42-0 lead, and they will start their drive deep in their own territory, but they'll take it after stopping Logansport. The Berries look like they were going to punch it in to get on the scoreboard with 7.5 minutes to go in our fourth quarter. Harrison up 42-0. See if Shrimp is still in at quarterback for Harrison. Nope. They've got a third-string quarterback in. The handoff to Davion Finley, as the new quarterback is Wes Stemick, 5'6" junior. And Davion Finley, a 5'7" junior, with a nice gain out to the 15-yard line. 9-yard pickup, make it second down and 1. And it just seems like every player we've called for Harrison tonight's an underclassman, as you mentioned a few moments ago. This is going to be a loaded Harrison team next year. They're pretty darn good this year, but boy, the future looks really bright too with all the young players they have. Second down and 1 for the Raiders. They have it at the Logansport 15-yard line, or excuse me, their own 15-yard line. Now Finley in motion, handoff up the middle, and hit right at the line of scrimmage is Kenneth Sims for a loss of a yard back to the 14-yard line. So Perry's doing a nice job stiffening on that second down play. So third down and 2, Seth Hassett on the tackle for Logansport. 6 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Fourth quarter, Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. The Raiders have it third down and 2 at their own 14-yard line. Receivers split out to either side of the formation for the Raiders. And Stemick under center for the Raiders. Now pitch to Finley. He's got some running room across the 20, across the 25-yard line. He's going to be run out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. But a nice run that time from Davion Finley. And as a Harrison first down out to the 28-yard line, give him 14 yards on that carry. And looks like they're alternating quarterbacks, Ben Henderson and Wes Stemick, and they're bringing in the plays from the sideline, and this is a good opportunity for these youngsters, although, as you mentioned, Kanoy, the starting quarterback for Harrison, just a sophomore, so they may be backups as well as Kanoy looked tonight for the Raiders for a couple more years. Now handoff up the middle to Sims, close to the 30-yard line. And on the stop there, Peter John Charles, whose name we called quite a bit in the first couple of games. Harrison's done a pretty good job blocking him. We've not called his name hardly at all tonight.
Next door.
As the Milt and Joe Daycare Center continues here at LMH Stadium.
Yeah. Hopefully we've told the game ball winner.
4:44 to go. Harrison up 42-0. Keeping it himself is Henderson on a quarterback keeper. Option right to about the 32-yard line. He is stopped right there. We'll set up third down and long for the Raiders. So Harrison will improve to 2-1 on the season and start 1-0 in the conference. The Berries will fall to 1-2, 0-1 in the North Central Conference. And a big road game next Friday night in Indianapolis, taking on Arsenal Tech. The last time the Bears were there a couple years ago, a very memorable game key interception. I believe Dustin Wilson late in the contest sealed that win. One of the best games of the year the Berries had. It was exciting. It's been a competitive series the last couple of years, so the Berries look to get on the board in the conference next Friday night at Indianapolis Tech. Now pitch out around the left side. He's got some running room, has the first down. The ball is loose, up for grabs, and Logansport comes up with a Donnie Cardona. Recovers that fumble. As Brendan Gothrop had a nice game, nice running room around the left side, but a good hit from the secondary, and Donnie Cardona, who also was at basketball practice last night from what we understand. So he's trying out for that Logansport Berries basketball team. And the new coach, Drew Schaus, with lots and lots of spots open with the Berries graduating 5 of their top 6 players. So there's roster spots and playing time available for that basketball team. So Donnie Cardona with the recovery. Logansport takes over at the Harrison 46-yard line.
That was the first turnover of the night for the Raiders.
Down inside of 3 minutes to go here in our fourth quarter. Berries now with 3 receivers to the left. Malachi Pearson all the way to the bottom of the formation. Back to pass is Barron. Pump fake. The pass is overthrown. Intended for Drake McLaughlin. It sailed on him. And we've seen Garrett Barron a couple of times tonight overthrowing receivers into the wind, giving an indication of just how strong his right arm is. So maybe it's just a case they're just trying to overthrow it a little bit to try and counteract that wind.
Strength does not appear to be the problem.
No.
For Garrett in passing. Manfred comes out.
Yep, Brendan Goforth will replace him. Maybe not a bad idea. With just 2 minutes to go, you obviously don't want to have anyone get hurt. And Goforth will get the handoff. He's got some running room inside the 35-yard line all the way down to the 32-yard line. Good job by that Logansport offensive line to open up a hole, and Goforth took full advantage of it. And we're going to spot the ball. Let's see where they spotted at the 33-yard line. Nice gain from Goforth. As the clock continues to run with 1:45 to play.
What do you get on that, 14?
14, yes, sir.
Okay.
First and 10, Logansport at the Harrison 33-yard line. Now in motion is Viscar. Drake McLaughlin gets it on a counter handoff inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Isaac Zimmerman, 6'1" sophomore, in on the stop. Now Isaiah Martinez comes into the offensive lineup for the Berries. Gavin George and Drake McLaughlin will depart as we approach 1 minute to play in our fourth quarter. Harrison was up 42-0 at halftime. That's our current score. The Berries would love to punch one in just before this game concludes. Inside of a minute to go. Second down for Logansport as Hurricane Dorian rears his ugly head. Handoff to inside. Nice run that time from Goforth again. He's inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. 16-yard pickup there. Clock continues to run. Malachi Pearson, who was a big part of their success a week ago, he's to the top of the formation, split out far to the right. Now the handoff inside to Goforth, breaks the tackle at the point of attack inside the 15, down to about the 13-yard line. Clock continues to run with 20 seconds to go. We'll see if the Berries maybe just choose to let the remaining seconds run out. And I think that's what they're going to decide to do. And one thing you talked about, Milt, just didn't want to see anybody get hurt with this running clock in the second half. And other than one of the Harrison players who left a little bit woozy, I don't think anyone got hurt in the second half. And obviously that's great news for both squads. That will do it. Our final score: Harrison 42, Logansport nothing. We will step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have our post-game show live